Hey everybody, happy holidays. I'm Mark Comfort. My wife Mimi and I own Cruise Holidays and Comfort Tours. And with me here on the screen is Brett Dahlgaard. Brett is the Business Development Manager for Viking Cruises. And we have decided to do this webinar right now for you to, I would almost call this under a travel tip. We're doing this in December, early December, so you can hopefully start planning your vacation right now. If you can do that, I want to tell you, you're going to be so far ahead, and that's really important because next year, so many people are making vacations a priority, and availability and pricing. Availability is going to go down as the year goes on, and pricing is going to go up. And January is our busiest, and not just ours, but everybody's busiest booking month of the entire year. So if you can start making your plans here in December, honest to goodness, I think you're going to find you'll have more availability and better pricing. And by the way, that not only is on the ships, but it's on the airplanes, it's on everything. So the early bird gets the worm. Let's start it that way. Hey, Brett, we just did a couple seminars last night, and it was so exciting to see all the people there ready to make vacation plans. And you as representing Viking have three actual segments of the vacation industry: the river cruise industry, which I think everybody knows Viking so very well. You built almost single-handedly the river cruise business. And then your ocean cruise ships that, my goodness gracious, have you hit grand slam home runs, and you win award after award after award in small luxury cruising. And then now you've got the new expedition ships. I'm so excited for you to share about all three of these different segments that Viking has in their assortment of vacation options for people. But do you agree with me that the early bird will get the worm if people can start planning right now before January?
Oh, very much so. This is the perfect time. And Viking has just released some great promotions here to end the year, but also some new itineraries, new dates, even into 2027. So now is the chance before the start of the year. The start of the year, you kind of mentioned, it's when almost the faucet gets turned on and everybody starts booking. This energy of booking and traveling happens at the start of the year. And so space starts filling up, the prices start increasing as that space fills up. So now is the time. The end of the year, we've got some great sales and promotions going on with some of that free international airfare, but that great kind of deposit of just $25. So I'll kind of talk over some of that, but really excited to share a little bit more about Viking, whether it be our rivers, oceans, expeditions, closer to home here on the Mississippi. I'm going to cover a little bit of that. I could talk for days, hours, years, but we'll keep this under 30 minutes and really
you got the whole world to talk about in under 30 minutes. Good luck.
So, but thank you so much for having me, and excited to be back here in Kansas City and share with your client base. And I know some of them are all over the world, so really want to showcase what Viking has to offer. I've been very fortunate to travel the world with Viking. I've been working with Viking for more than 6 years, more than 5 years working on board the ships as a excursion manager and a hotel general manager. So really know the product through and through. So hopefully you'll see that this information is very authentic in what I'm able to share with you and learn more about Viking. So really kind of wanted to start off by sharing where we sail. We sail all around the world, now all 7 continents with our expedition and our ocean ships, a big focus throughout Europe and Scandinavia with our river ships, and touching so many coastlines, riverways around the world, and really always want to ask, where can we take you next? That's always our kind of final question to guests when they sail with us. And so we're always expanding, looking at new opportunities, growing our fleet, but also ensuring that we always have some of the newest ships out there. And so just yesterday, actually today, I think we're starting a shakedown cruise of our newest ocean vessel. We had 2 new ships that were just launched on the Nile about a week ago. So always looking at innovating as well as bringing new ships to the fleet. Now you'll see small ship cruising is always going to be our focus. We started 27 years ago, as you mentioned, creating almost what the river cruise industry is today through that small ship cruising and that intimacy traveling along the rivers. And our focus is always going to be the destination. We're destination focused, culturally enriching and carefully curated. And with those small ships, we're really able to deliver that. And the design of our vessels really provides that kind of elegant feel. We say understated elegance, small ship, focus on that high level of service throughout. And we really want to showcase that. We really want to make sure our guests feel at home while on board the vessels, and they'll continue to come back and move from what was the small ship experience on rivers to now our small ship sailing on oceans or expeditions. And we really find that repeat business coming back over and over. I mentioned our kind of major difference, and that is that we're destination focused, we're culturally enriching and carefully curated. Where we dock in those destinations is very important to us. How long we stay in port. We stay in port much longer than any other of our competitors. Really want you to be able to go out and see the destinations, see that culture, be enriched with music, with entertainment, with the arts, the culinary experiences. So all of that is part of traveling, and our curated tours, our curated itineraries, all of that is part of sailing with Viking. I'm so happy to share that with our guests. Now,
Hey, Brett, if I can interrupt a second. Can you go back to that last?
Yes.
Look at your logo, exploring Viking, exploring the world in comfort. Is there any way we could change that to say exploring the world in comfort with comfort?
It's a pretty good tagline, isn't it? You know,
I like it.
we've never put that together now. That's, but no, it really is. That's our goal. Is we want it to be comfortable and enjoyable, and it's so much part of travel. And you want to be able to be on vacation and allow us to take care of you. And so that's part of traveling. Now, our philosophy is that we're not everything to everyone. And I'm going to share a few things that we're not, but we want to be a very inclusive value, always focused on that destination, but sharing everywhere that we travel with those like-minded individuals, taking you into the hearts and of the destinations, sharing that culture. So traveling, you see even in this picture where we dock, walking distance into town. It's so nice to be able to maybe sit and have dinner on our Aquavit terrace and see the Eiffel Tower just footsteps away. We want those destinations to come to life while you're there, and being able to go back into town maybe after dinner for an after dinner drink, or just to browse and to see the shops. It's really part of traveling. Now, I mentioned I worked on board our ship, so I'm a little biased with kind of the last point here, but I think we hire the best crew. We really do take care of our crew, and our crew then take care of our guests. The smiles on board our ships are infectious, and you'll see that the guests really do love sailing with Viking. They get to know our crew. We do have to make sure that none of our crew get taken home with our guests after having such great service, and really building those relationships while sailing on board. So really proud of the experience and what we're able to provide. Now, part of that experience is also through the enrichment. And we say we're the thinking person's cruise, not the drinking person's cruise. Now, of course, we have some libations on board, and we have wonderful wines and spirits, but we share about those wines and spirits. So here you see a chef sharing and why those wines are paired with the main course menus. The regions we sail to, many of them are known for maybe their wines or some of their spirits. And so we want to share that history along with it. And so you'll see that through the enrichment. Also, we have a lot of guests who may book, 6 or 8 months prior to a departure. Now, those are they fill up very quickly, but you also have some who might be looking at 2 years out for an itinerary. And so there's a little bit of anticipation as you get ready to sail. And so we've tried to help you to know before you go and to understand and prepare for a destination. And so we have things like Viking.tv. It's a web-based TV channel. So you can go online rather than Viking.com. It's Viking.tv. And each day there's a new episode about different cultures, about music, art, culinary experiences. Sometimes we even do yoga. You can really get to experience the different cultures by watching those episodes. You can search your destinations, which you're traveling to, and learn more before you go. And then once you do reach on board, we bring a lot of that entertainment and enrichment on board as well, whether that be destination performances, historical lectures or presentations that come on in the local ports of call, or our local guides that really share about the destinations. And of course, like-minded travelers fill our ships. So we have many travelers who have been on many different itineraries or have traveled all around the world. So sharing those experiences and even sharing some of the research, having dinner with somebody who says, oh yes, tomorrow we're in Cologne and I know there's a great cafe. I saw on Viking.tv that there's a cafe. And so you share those like-minded ideas. And it's wonderful really to share that with other like-minded travelers. Now, I mentioned, cafes and experiences and tasting those flavors ashore. That's a big part of traveling. And so, of course, we have culinary tours. We give our guests overviews of the destinations. And we want you to be able to go out and taste those flavors, but we also bring that on board our vessels. So we give you a chance to go out on tour, and our program directors a lot of times will bring back, some of the wines and cheeses, maybe some of the roasted nuts at the Christmas markets. But we also want to have those items on board for our guests to be able to taste. And so we always have in our main restaurant two separate sides of our menu. So the left-hand side is going to be our always available. So those kind of American classics. You'll have a Caesar salad, a steak, chicken, salmon. That's always available for you. And then the right-hand side of our menu is going to focus on the destination. You're going to have an appetizer, a soup, a main course that highlights those destinations or the region to give you a chance to taste those without having to go back out in the ports of call to spend more time or money. We're going to give you that time to explore and see a little bit more. Of course, you can do that whether, because we stay in ports longer than most. So you can do that on your own, but we want to give you that opportunity as well. We also, on our river ships, have our taste of events. And so whether that be a taste of France or a taste of Bavaria, on the ships, we'll have a whole spread of those different culinary items and then plated meals as well to really highlight those destinations. So the culinary experience does get expanded from the destinations onto the ship. And we really do want to highlight those through your experience. Now, we have a very inclusive value, and I kind of mentioned that earlier, and this slide kind of highlights just some of the inclusive value that you receive, and the major one being our daily shore excursion. That's not just dropping you off in the city center and saying good luck, but a guided tour with our local guides. We have audio systems, so the guides have transmitters, the guests all have receivers, and so you're able to walk about and hear the information. Sometimes this is a panoramic tour on a coach. A lot of times this might be a walking tour through a historic downtown. But the highlights of this tour is usually a 2 to 3 hour kind of tour to highlight what that region or destination is focused on. So if you're in Livorno, we take you to the Leaning Tower of Pisa. If you're in Cologne, we're going to do a walking tour of the downtown into the Cologne Cathedral. So we want you to see the highlights of the destination and then give you the chance to go back out, whether that be on your own to explore the town or onto one of our curated kind of boutique tours as well. So giving you those opportunities. So that included tour really is a great highlight of the itineraries. Now, of course, we also have all of our meals included, beer, wine, and soft drinks at lunch and dinner, Wi-Fi, bottled water, little things that generally you might have nickel and dimed on other lines. That's all part of the inclusive value. Many of our trips now have reduced airfare or even sometimes free airfare. And with that airfare come free transfers as well as local ground staff that are going to help you navigate through the airports, getting from the terminals out to the baggage and to get to the ships. So a lot of extra support. It's really nice when you get off that airplane and you see somebody with a Viking sign directing you to the baggage claim and really helping you to get through some of those foreign destinations. So many, though, additional things, though, are included on our ocean and expedition. We have our enhanced dinner and our optional dinners where you simply need a reservation at those venues. There's no additional charges. We don't have additional charges for things like corkage fees. If you want to go off on a port of call and bring back a bottle of wine or a bottle of liquor, there's no additional charge. There's no searches of your bags for those types of things. You're welcome to bring that on board, and we of course want to share that with you. So please do feel free, and again, no nickel and diming. We really want to take care of clients while on board. Now, I kind of touched on most of these. As a hotel general manager, I'll say I think it was over 70% of our guests have a $0 bill at the end of a voyage, which is really great. And those who do have charges, it's small things that they've purchased at the gift shop. Maybe if on our ocean ships they do a spa treatment, but the actual spa is included. You can use the saunas and the steam rooms, the cold baths, all of that again is included. So very few things that you actually can purchase while on board. Now this is a little bit of a slide. I mentioned the things that we are, but this is also all the things that we're not. We're no casinos, we're no children. We say, our chairman says he loves his grandchildren, not yours. Sometimes it's nice to travel without children. So there's plenty of lines, there's great times. I will say traveling with family is absolutely wonderful, but this is a nice way to travel with like-minded individuals, and it really is nice. But we don't have the art auctions and the umbrella drinks. We're not chasing you around, again, trying to charge you more for little things, and it really is nice. Also, the casualness of our sailings. There's no formal nights. There's no required dress codes that you have to be all dressed up to enjoy our voyages. So come, and it's cruise casual. We want you to feel relaxed, and you can see in these photos, many of our guests do like to get dressed up, and they feel very comfortable in that, but it's not a requirement that you have to. We want you to go off and explore. So we want comfortable shoes and the ability to really get out and see the destinations. Now, talking about the destinations, I'll say the most popular for our river cruises are going to be in the heart of Europe on the Rhine and the Danube. And so these 2 or 3 itineraries really highlight the Rhine and the Danube, and then the Grand European ties those two together. So you have 8-day itineraries sailing from Amsterdam to Basel on the Rhine. Now this is being 8 days, very, very popular, but I'll say that most guests do add at least 1 or 2 days before or after the sailing, or both. The travel, of course, is always a little bit nerve-wracking, so getting in early is wonderful, but being able to see Amsterdam or seeing Basel, going over to Lake Como or Lucerne, Switzerland, very, very popular. So you'll see a lot of that with the pre and post extension options for you. But then as you travel along and seeing places like Kinderdijk or Cologne, Speyer, going over to Heidelberg University, there's so many beautiful venues along the river. Moving over to the Danube, you have the sailings that sail in either direction from Passau as well as from Ravensburg to Budapest. There's 2 different options for you there with the Danube Waltz or the Romantic Danube, so you can pick and choose. Extensions there give you a chance to spend extra time in either Passau, Budapest. You can also go up to Nuremberg, spend a little bit of time learning of the military history and the trials there. So much to see and experience. This is where I say the sound of music. You get the Mozart, Strauss, some beautiful museums there in Vienna. So really up to you how you want to explore. Of course, we have active tours as well, bike tours, hiking through the Black Forest on the Rhine. So a lot of different options for you. Now, the Grand European ties both of those together. You can sail, again, in either direction. These rivers are controlled by lock and dam, so the direction really does not matter. You still get full amounts of time in the ports of call. So sailing from Amsterdam all the way to Budapest, or Budapest to Amsterdam, here going through the Main-Danube Canal and getting to see kind of the locks and dams there. So a really neat itinerary, and you see that many times guests go, and sometimes they'll do this itinerary more than once, especially if they do it at the Christmas markets and maybe in the summer, because the river is quite different throughout the seasons. And so really a nice way to see and experience that. Now the ships itself, so this is our European longship, slightly different than some of the other ships that are out there. So you see a rounded bow. Most ships have kind of a pointed V bow, where they use that for nautical equipment, the ropes, the technical equipment. Our ships use that as a guest space. So you're able to have nice al fresco dining, sit and enjoy a cocktail. There's barbecue grills out there for lunch. Really a wonderful space, but floor to ceiling windows throughout the entire vessel, taking in that natural light, the destination always being the focus. And again, small ships, under 200 passengers, 190 passengers on most of our riverways, but even smaller on riverways like the Douro in Portugal, on the Mekong, Vietnam and Cambodia on Mekong, and then Egypt as well, much smaller ships. Now, the world of Viking expands so much more when you start looking at our ocean ships and expeditions. So you'll see all of the ports of call, and this map actually has more and more dots that we need to add because we continue to add more. And we just last week added 10 new itineraries. So proud to always be expanding. And so you'll see that with our small ocean ships. So under 1,000 passengers, 930 guests on these vessels. But having a little bit larger vessel allows you to have things like the theater, the spa, the shops, a walking track, outdoor kind of sports deck. You have 8 different dining options on this vessel. So much, and all of this is included. And so we really want to make sure that our guests are able to take in those destinations, all veranda staterooms, so no inside staterooms. Everybody has a veranda and a chance to see the destinations, but absolutely stunning vessels. Moving to our expedition, we sail these absolutely stunning ships. I say these are our Ferraris. These are designed to go fast, but have luxury in mind. 370 guests on these ships, going to Antarctica, now all the way up to the Arctic, sailing from Nuuk up into Greenland and to seeing and actually making landings in the Arctic, and then into the Great Lakes. So we sail the summer season in North America and the Great Lakes, and then the winter season in North America, we head south to the summer of South America and sail to Antarctica. And so these ships have so much to offer, whether that be all of the toys, the Zodiacs, the kayaks, the special operations boats, the submarines. All of our guests are provided with jackets, and then we have ponchos and boots, snow pants, ski poles, everything to make your opportunities to go off and explore, to find a new penguin colony, which we recently did, new islands, to launch weather balloons and be part of the science and research that we do on this ship. But it also has that fine dining, has the spa, has the ability to sit back, relax, and enjoy the destinations, or to get out and explore. And it really is up to each guest how much they want to explore, or to relax, or to do both. So. And then closer to home, we've got our Mississippi vessel sailing from New Orleans all the way to St. Paul. You see the lowest level of the vessel is very similar to the European longship with that rounded bow. We've got our 2-deck Explorer's Lounge there for you to sit and relax, some rocking chairs to sit out and take in the destinations, and then all veranda staterooms. Our staterooms are identical to our ocean-going ships, so very spacious staterooms, all the amenities, even a pool up on the top deck. But a number of different itineraries from New Orleans round trip, Memphis to New Orleans, a new Memphis to Nashville, St. Louis to St. Paul, or the entire Mississippi. And really is a stunning riverway, natural beauty on the upper Mississippi, those 26 locks and dams. St. Louis South, you have the mighty Mississippi with the currents, but also the jazz, the music, the culture, the Creole foods in the southern Mississippi, the Civil War history. So much to see and learn about while traveling on the Mississippi. So that really takes us all around the world so fast. Mark, I think I could go on, and I know we've had some presentations, and of course our in-person presentations really dive deep, but also the knowledge and experience of your team about each one of these products. And I think we're now over 100 itineraries that Viking offers, and the nice thing about our itineraries is that most of them aren't just round trips going back and forth over and over. And so you can kind of travel one itinerary after another. You can even stay on the same ship and see new destinations. And so it's so nice that your team knows about these destinations, about the offerings, and can help guide guests to which itinerary, which ships, what's going to be best for each guest.
Well, you did a great job in exploring the world in 23 minutes. That's pretty doggone good. And again, you do go, Viking goes everywhere. And I do want the audience to know, you might know Viking best as River Cruise Line, but boy, their ocean cruise line, small luxury, first class. They've won so many awards for being the best in that small luxury class, less than 1,000 people anymore. And they can get into a lot of places that the bigger ships cannot get into. That's a big deal. I just love, Brett, I think what Viking is really best at, you're just so committed to those three pillars, the destination focus, the culturally enriching, and the carefully curated. That's what it's all about. And you have so many options when you get on board. I think about the river cruise ships, especially, that people can do cultural experiences, people can do historic experiences, or a combination of both, or people can do maybe scenic, or if you want to ride a bike or a hike, there's active things to do. And like Brett says, they're Vikings taking their river cruise philosophy to the ocean cruise ships. So they try to price in most everything, not everything, but most everything, so that you don't get nickeled and dimed. And I'll tell you, the proof is in the pudding, isn't it, Brett? When you have the satisfaction rates that Viking has and the repeat business Viking has, that really kind of says it all, doesn't it?
It really does. Yeah. Our word of mouth and our repeat guests really, I think I could say that I work for the best sales team, but our crew is the best sales team. They're the ones that really bring the guest back over and over. And it's the experience that our guests receive through our crew, our knowledgeable crew, our retention, our crew. Many of them have been with the line for more than 5 to 7 years, depending on which river or ocean. So they're able to know the destinations as well, share their tips and tricks as you're traveling. So looking for cafes, looking for little shops if somebody's looking for shopping. And so the experience with that small ship cruising and getting to know the guests, our crew really do provide that high level of service and that wonderful value.
No, they are so good. You're right. The staff always makes the experience better. The service always makes the experience better. Brett, on that very subject, service is so very important. I know when we did the seminars just last night, there were people that asked you, hey, Brett, am I better off booking with Cruise Holidays Kansas City, or am I better off booking with Viking Direct? And I loved how you answered that. Tell everybody the answer to that.
Yeah, and I of course, Viking does a great job of marketing and getting information out to clients and to anybody interested in river cruising or ocean cruising. And so you're going to see brochures or the prices online, and that's going to be kind of your starting price. That's going to be a great place for you to start by looking at what itineraries might be out there. But then reaching out to Mark and his team here at Cruise Holidays is going to be able to give you the best possible pricing, but then also give you the promotions that are going on, give you the added level of service. Also look at catering things. Viking might have air that goes, at a certain time, but you might want to, go at a different time. You might want to go traveling with friends and, meet them in Chicago before heading over to Europe. And so that's where Mark and his team can kind of customize and cater and look at different options for you. Look at different insurance options for you. So really, it's the added level of service. Of course, I can say Viking gives you incredible service, but having an extra element, one extra person, also if there ever is anything that comes up, whether it be delays with weather or airports, you have an extra added level of service that can help you to navigate through any challenges to ensure. So Mark and his team, as I said earlier, so knowledgeable with this, but they're going to be able to navigate you to the best value and the best pricing, but also that high level of service.
Yes, and I think that's the big deal. I would really say to everybody watching today, kind of the decision you have to make is how important is service to you. And I'm talking about service from the start to the finish, and even beyond. Meaning this, we know these, let's talk about river cruises for a minute. We know these rivers. We know the unique differences in the different cruise lines. We know the differences in the ships. So, and we can tell you the time of the year that's the best time to go to certain areas. We can help you find the availability. But the biggest thing is with us being part of the Travel Leaders organization, which is the largest by volume consortium, which is a big like tour operator in the whole world, we will always have as good a prices as you can get direct with Viking. And in so many cases, Brett will give us even more added value to be able to offer you. And then our staff is so good about sitting down with you and making sure you know everything and everything as to what to expect and helping to match you up with what's really right for you or best for you. We understand this is a big decision on both time and money. We can help you, speaking of time, we can help you with the pre-package, like Brett said, the land package before the cruise begins, and or the land package after the cruise ends. And it's our thought process when you fly all the way to Europe and you have a 7-night, 8-day cruise, for the most part, try to see as much as you can of the rest of Europe. You'll be so glad you did. And then the other thing I wanted to tell you, a lot of people have told us that they went on the Viking website late at night or weekends when we're not in business or when we're not open for business, and they book direct with Viking, but they want to be serviced by us. So they just tell the Viking agent that they want their booking to be serviced by Cruise Holidays of Kansas City. And then we'll throw in another $50 onboard credit for you for doing that. And then we'll be able to give you the service you want. But I wanted to stop and share something a minute. Of our vacation counselors and advisors at Cruise Holidays of Kansas City, 36 years we've been in business. We have 199 years of expertise and service of our advisors. We call our salespeople advisors, which is 24.8 years of experience per each advisor. And that counts, of course, Mimi and I with 36.5 years, and Andrea Redding with 32 years, Deb Mitchell, 39 years more than Mimi and I, Cassie, 23 years. We've got so much experience, and I'll tell you what, I do believe that firsthand experience of being there, done that, and caring about you and helping you find what is best for you. That service where we match you up with what's right for you, and we make sure your expectations are correct. You know what to wear, what to do, which are some of the best tours, all these things that are so important. We can help you with your travel insurance, which is so very important. If Brett or Viking has an air promotion, we'll let you have the option of taking that air promotion, or if there's a better option for you as far as schedule, or maybe you have points or miles and you want to use that for your air, we can help you with that part of it too. And then help you, as Brett said earlier, get you from, gosh, when you fly red eye from Kansas City over to Europe, you get into Amsterdam or Budapest or wherever it might be, Paris in the morning, and you're tired, and boy, to see that sign with Viking Cruises so they can help get you to the transfer vehicles or get you to the next gate to fly to wherever it is you're going. That's so invaluable. But gosh, this is, again, 36 years in business for our company. Close to 125,000 guests have trusted us with their vacations. And the one thing about Viking, with its satisfaction, whether it's river cruising or the luxury small ocean cruise ships or those spectacular, really, really small expedition ships, I can promise you, you're going to get the value and you're going to have the satisfaction for what you wanted out of your vacation. You're going to get the experience that you dreamed of and wanted. You're going to make memories that will last a lifetime for you. And that's our mission statement, that we create memories that last a lifetime for you. Brett, thank you so much for doing this webinar with me. You're such a class act. You really partner with us and support us so very well. So our customers have the very best there is. But thank you for that. And I want to wish you very happy holidays, as I want to wish all of you a very happy holiday season. God bless you.